Now, our top story today. President Donald Trump has struck a trade agreement with Japan, slashing tariffs on Japanese auto imports from 27.5% down to 15%. In return, Tokyo has pledged a $550 billion investment and loan package aimed at strengthening U.S. supply chains in key sectors. The news sent Japan's Nikkei stock index soaring nearly 4%. Japan's top negotiator, Akazawa, spoke about the trade deal. Let's listen in to what he said.
まさに守るべきものは守った上で、日米両国の国益に一致する形での合意を実現することができたというふうに確信をしております。
US auto manufacturers, however, have voiced concern over the deal, citing unequal tariff treatment compared to North American-built vehicles. Meanwhile, China spoke about the trade deal. Let's listen in to what was said.
中方一贯主张各方通过平等对话协商解决经贸分歧，维护良好的国际经贸合作环境。
Now, in another related development in Japan, it's being speculated that Prime Minister Shiba intends to resign following a significant electoral setback. However, Shiba has firmly denied these claims, describing them as completely unfounded. We're now joined by our guest, Dr Tomohiko Taniguchi, who's a former advisor to Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Thank you very much, Dr Taniguchi, for joining us here on NewsX World. I first of all wanted to get into this topic of this newly agreed trade deal today, voiced by President Donald Trump as one of the greatest deals ever, according to the US president. How significant here is the 50% tariff rate for Japan's auto industry in terms of export volume and profit margins for Japan?
15% is still high, higher than it used to be pre-Trump. However, the nation has for some time been very much worried that eventually Japan's auto industry and other industries might have to suffer 20, 25, 27% tariffs. Compared to that, the reduction has been significant, and I think the nation as a whole has taken a sigh of relief looking at the reduction of the tariff rates from 25 to 15. And it's been reflected by the little surge that you saw in the Tokyo stock index.
And Dr. Taniguchi, given Japan's heavy reliance on US auto markets, what short-term and long-term effects do you anticipate on Japanese car makers' strategies?
Japanese car makers' strategies will not change because after a tense period of friction after friction that those two nations, America and Japan, underwent in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and well into the 2000s, most of the Japanese car makers have had a massive amount of investment already in the United States. And they all understand it's very much imperative for those companies to continue operating manufacturing businesses in the United States. So this being the case, the reduction of tariff is not going to be so much effective as regards changing car makers' strategies.
Another thing, a $550 billion investment in the United States for Japan. That's a lot of money. Is this reciprocal in your eyes, Dr. Taniguchi?
It is a massive amount of money for sure, but so long as it is investment, in 10, 20, 30 years, you will be looking at profits, you will be looking at returns. So politically speaking, it is an expression of a pledge from the Japanese side that the country is going to betting still on the future prospect of the United States.
Now let's move on to rumours of Shigeru Ishiba and the future of his leadership in Japan. There was obviously a lot of rumours swirling around that there was going to be a possible resignation from Ishiba today. However, there's also been further reports that he is postponing his resignation ahead of the August the 1st deadline. How might this leadership uncertainty affect Japan's implementation of this deal?
When it comes to implementing the tariff deals, this is going to be out of political battle playing out in Tokyo at the moment. The deal is deal, it's set, and it's waiting to be sealed. And whoever is going to be prime minister in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, the deal is not going to be changing, because you're looking at both ends. The United States under Donald Trump has already said that they have struck the deal.
Yes, and finally, how would you have analysed so far Prime Minister Ishiba's tenure in office, given both the geopolitical and economic uncertainty that's going on right now?
Under the parliamentary system that Japan's running, the Japanese Prime Minister is always the chief campaign manager. So whatever he does or he does not as Prime Minister, as a campaign manager, it is very much evident that he has failed badly, not only once, twice, but 3 times in a row. The Americans and the Japanese say 1 strike, 2 strikes, and 3 strikes, you're out. It's a baseball term, and grassroots rank and file foot soldiers of the Liberal Democratic Party are voicing more loudly than ever before concerns to continue to have Mr. Ishiba as their campaign manager. So let's see how this will play out.
Yes, and do apologise, just finally, how do internal factions within the LDP view Ishiba's handling of this trade deal specifically, and how could that pressure him towards stepping down?
I could only guess, but I think there is a sentiment that let us be a bit kinder to Ishiba. The other party, if you like, within the same party might say, this won't be enough. And it's been proven that Mr. Ishiba cannot lead the pack, cannot lead the campaign going forward. So it's going to be very much a hot summer.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Tomohiko Taniguchi, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. We now move